All right, everybody, what's going on? How are you doing? What's going on? Welcome back to day 4 of 11 days free AI and digital marketing bootcamp. Welcome back. Do me a favor, announce yourself, what city you're repping as you're coming in. Also, hit the like button. Thank you so much. Hit that like button as you're coming in. As you can see, I warned you guys that this is a funnel. All right, if you're here, I want you to congratulate yourself because clearly you're taking this seriously. All right, not everybody's gonna get this. Nope, not everybody's gonna get it, and that's okay. All right, that's okay. Not everybody's gonna get it, but that's okay. But welcome back. Pay attention. That's what's going. We're about to get started. Let me see who is here with me. I have Remy, Oklahoma. Hello, Remy. I think this is Matthew. Cleveland, Ohio. Matthew, welcome back. Missed you yesterday. And we have Coach. All right, great. So, of course, we have to practice what we preach. Eventually, we're going to set up ads to continue to promote the bootcamp because we got to keep feeding the beast with fresh blood. We can't count on people seeing themselves all the way through a program. It's just not reality, right? So it is what it is. But I'm going to show you how to practice the same thing in your business. That's why we're here. Okay. Shout out to Isaac. I'm going to show you how to practice the same thing in your business. How you bring in a lot of people through the funnel on a consistent basis. And you already know that less and less people are also going to go get all the way through to conversion. That's just the way it works, right? So let's get used to it. It's a numbers game. Okay, so shout out to you, shout out to all 8 of you watching this live. We're only 4 days in, and just make sure you're determined to see this all the way through to the end. Okay, so at the very minimum, you want to make sure you're watching the replay, just in case time is not on your side. That's understandable. All right, welcome Chinye. So let's get into it. Today I have some information I want to share with you. I'm going to leave this on the screen for a second if you want to read it. Okay, I'm going to leave that on the screen for you if you want to read it really quickly for about 1 minute or so. Those are my credentials in case you're wondering where I'm coming from with this. How am I qualified to teach you this kind of stuff? Okay, it's been a long time coming. Oh, sorry, that's not big enough. I'll leave you like this. There you go. Aha, that way you guys can see it. But hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. Let's ping other people into the room. Share this session with other people. If you know someone that owns a business, someone trying to build a business, somebody starting a franchise, somebody has a dream to start a business from home, somebody who is tired of 9 to 5, but they know they have to keep their job, but they also know that they have to have multiple streams of income, share this bootcamp with them. It's free. So let's do that. All right. So now that we've gone through that, if you've read it, those are my credentials, my qualifications. Let's get on to the next segment here. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna close this guy. There you go. All right, there you go. All right, this is the big picture. This is what we're going through. Okay, this is the program we're going through. I'm breaking it down into pieces as we get through, but this is what you need to picture anytime you're trying to get into digital marketing. And especially as we're getting into more and more of the AI world, you need to understand this concept. You need to understand this concept fully, okay? All right. So this is it, but we start to break it down. We went through the 3 pillars already, and then we started to break down pillar number 1. That's why we're here today, okay? Now, today's objective is to get into that 4th node right there. It's kind of like the 4th node, but kind of sort of like in between. You know, we covered market research, we covered copywriting yesterday, and I told you, if you notice that copywriting is occupying like 2 different nodes over there, right? And I told you, I warned you already that this is the single most important skill you will learn in all of this. So go back and watch yesterday. I'm not going to get through too much about copywriting, but you will notice it playing out as we're going all the way through the rest of the program. But today, I want to focus on the next step here, and if we have time, we'll get into the next step after that. Format and structure. So we already know that this is about content. Do you guys, if you know what content is, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't know what content is, put a 2 in the chat. If you know what content is, right, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't know what content is, put a 2 in the chat. Let's gauge the room. Let's see what's going on here. Let's make sure everybody is up to speed. Let's go. Oh, by the way, if you want free consultation with me or the free book, you can download the book for free. You can get it at digitalmarketingcertified.com. Use a fresh browser. If you're having a hard time opening it, use a fresh browser. Type it in directly, www.digitalmarketingcertified.com. Okay. All right. So Coach Kevin says yes. Oluremi says yes. Everybody else is no. All right. So what is content? What is content? Shall we? What is content? For those of you, Coach Kevin, can you give us like a definition of content? What is content when it comes to digital marketing? All right. Feel free to Google it. I don't care. I just want us to refresh ourselves here. Okay. What is content? What is content? What is content? But I want to use, I'm going to wait for a few seconds here so I can get your thoughts on what you understand. Ururemi and Kevin, what is content? What is content? What is content? We're waiting. What is content within the context of digital marketing? Digital marketing is promoting goods and services online. Most people, what they do is they just, hey, I'm selling stuff, please buy my stuff. That's what they do, right? That's what most people do, and this is why they don't make any sales. Hey, I just joined this business, please can you check it out? Oh, do you mind supporting me? Right, guess what happens? 2-3 weeks later is dead. All right, I've been doing this for 15 years. All right, so even if you see us seemingly take an hiatus, then we circle back with another product. We don't get tired of doing this. This is for the rest of our life. I'm always going to promote stuff. When I get bored, I will start another program. Same skill set. Is it making sense? Are we making sense? We're live. Somebody please go and tell Natu in the group that we're live for the digital marketing class. Thank you. Okay, all right. He already did. Awesome. All right, good. All right. Yep. So let me see. All right. Thank you so much for that, Kevin. Thank you so much. Kevin says content digital marketing is a strategic approach to marketing that focuses on creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and retain a clearly defined audience. I like the word attract. I really love the word attract. Back in the days, hard sell. Pick up the phone, bang the phone out, call them every day, knock on their doors, right? Why? Because you've got something to sell, right? Today, knocking on doors, you got to be careful with that. Okay? Somebody was asking me earlier on today, like, oh, they saw 2 kids fighting in the street, like 10, 11, 12-year-old kids, and nobody could stop them. And I was like, did you stop them? I didn't ask him directly, but I was like, well, people want to mind their business. I said, is this in the hood? If this is in the hood, of course people are minding their business, right? Because some of those kids, they are not kids. Okay? If you feel like people are unsafe, call the cops, right? So we're in that era that you can just pop up or pull up on people or knock on their door randomly. You better know what you're doing if you're doing that. Some people still do it. It's just better off when they already are familiar with your brand. So content, when we're talking about content, I like the word attract. You're building a brand. You want that when people see your logo, they recognize who it is. Okay, so one of my goals as we continue here. Oh, sorry about this. Let's turn off the music. Sorry about that. We're in a class. Okay, somebody tell me, always remind me to turn off the music. Okay, we're in class. All right. So one of my goals is that when you see this logo as we move into the future, you're like, wait, is that Ola? Is that digital marketing? That's my Empire Pro, right? That's one of my goals as time goes on. Okay. Why? It's a big deal because I don't have to do so much hard selling once people, right? So one of the ways we do that is we create lots of content. What am I doing right now? I'm creating content. You call it free? Yes, kind of. It's not exactly free, you know. It's not free for me because I'm paying time to create this content, right? For you, you're gonna get some knowledge, but you still have to show up all the time. Consistency. What did he say in his article? He said relevant and consistent content. We can't even get people. Yes, I'm shaming you, just in case you're wondering. Not you, but those of you that already fell apart that will see this 6 months later. Yeah, I started, but I kind of slowed down. Yeah, and you know that you really wanted this. I'm talking about you, right? We can't even get you to show up consistently for a class that you badly need. Like, what are you going to do when you start creating content? You're going to fall apart. So it's about consistent content. Consistent content. If you're wondering how I'm able to get 500 people coming to my website for free from Google every single month in and out, it's the reward of consistent content creation. All right. So content is essentially valuable information, online valuable information, particularly in this respect for the purpose of attracting your ideal audience, your ideal customer, your ideal client. Money. We're talking about money. So if somebody hires you for this role, a digital marketer, an SEO marketing specialist, manager, your job is to create content that will continue to attract lead customer clients. Okay, and of course deals for those of you that are in real estate. Of course, deals, of course, right? So content, some people say is king, some people say is whatever, is queen. I don't care, as long as you're creating content. And content can come in different forms. All right, so today we're going to play quite a bit. We're going to play around quite a bit and see different forms that content can. Now, before I go into that, can somebody, since you just understood what content is, give me in your idea what comes to mind, the types of content that you can think about right now. Types of content. I'm going to help, but let's get going. Let's engage. What are the types of content that you know or that you've observed? You come on the internet every day, you scroll through feeds, right? You're scrolling through feeds and you are consuming content. Right now, you're consuming content created by Ola of My Empire Pro, right? Yes. So what type of content are you consuming right now? What type of content can you think about? You've seen me demonstrate quite a few different types of content, isn't it? If you don't recall, I'll remind you in a second. All right. But tell me, what are the different types of content that you can think of that you've observed that is being created on the internet? Format, structure. We're going to talk about structure as well. If we have time, we only got 1 hour for these sessions, but we don't plan to stop. Don't worry about the 11-day stuff, okay? This is stuff that you need. You're going to need this in your endeavors, no matter what field you're in, okay? You're going to be some kind of business partner with a job somewhere. They will expect you to know how to connect with more deals, more customers. All right. At the very minimum, they're going to expect you to be able to relate it. You guys are doing very well in your different endeavors. You have a good job, all this kind of stuff. You have a good job because you're bringing in customers. Well, indirectly. At some point, mark this down. your boss, your job is going to require you to bring in new deals, directly or indirectly, probably a little bit closer to directly. There's a massive shift going on in the economy, and the people that are still going to have a job are people that are bringing new businesses. Why? Because a lot of these companies, they will not be able to afford afford you if you're not bringing in new business. Okay. All right, so let's get through. Let me see. Somebody said content, different types of content. All right, so let me rephrase that question. That's my fault. Okay, the only person that got this right is Remy and Kevin, but it's my fault. Okay, I see somebody say fashion. That would be more like an industry. Okay, lifestyle. That's more like an industry. Social media is a form of media, not a format of content. Okay, but good one, nice one. Business will be more of maybe a content category. Okay, a content category, maybe depending, content category more so, right? All right. Blog posts, articles, videos, infographics, social media posts. Social media posts will not fit there. It will be more like text based. Okay, but I'm gonna help. Okay, I'm gonna help. The first type of, or let me say format. Okay, so that's my fault. What we're talking about today is format and structure. Remember? Okay, so the first type is text-based format, written text. Okay, that's the type of, if it requires that you scan letters to formulate words and formulate meaning and concepts, then we're talking about text-based formats. Okay, so now under text-based formats, there are also some different types of content. All right, but let's talk about the format first. All right. With that being said, let's go straight forward and just tell you what the second format is. All right, the second format is the obvious, right? That's visual. Okay, visual. So you can, I'm also using visuals, right? I'm using visuals obviously because you're watching my hands waving. You have to have eyes to see this, right? Right. So you also have to have eyes to see the text, but the point is visual, meaning it's not letters or text. It's pictures, images, moving images, motion picture, right? That's visual format, and there's a lot of other different type of format that will also fall under that category. So we can call this format category. It doesn't really matter. It depends on what material you're studying. They have different names, right? But I just want you to get the concept. The third type, or not type, I keep saying type. The third format category that you will notice out there is called the interactive format. Okay, if you can interact with it, and then it's considered interactive. Okay, interactive format, right? So for example, if you're a client of mine in relationship, under relationship or personal development, I make you take assessments. One of the assessments you might take is the 5 love languages. You enter information, right? You are answering questions, you are interacting with it. At the end of it, it gives you what your primary love language is. That is a form of content, but it's a form of interactive format of content. Okay, that's another. Now those ones are very, 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 they're very, very good. Let me see if I can see a quick example for you here. Let's see. Some of you might need to take this, right? So I've created a few of those in the past. I should get back into that because they actually some of the best type of content that have brought me the most traffic ever. Let me see if I can find it. There you go. I think I found one. Let's see. Where is it? Let's go back. I want to show you an example of what we're talking about. 1 second. Okay. I'll pull up in a second. It's called interactive format. Okay, I think I found it. All right. Here's an example. Can you guys see this? Let me take that off the screen. Okay, you can see this. This is a website that wife and I created 5 years ago. It's called olanola.com. It's called the Ultimate Marriage Quiz. Of course, it's like a hybrid of text-based and possibly video on this page. Actually, text, video, visual, and interactive. How? Because it asks you a question and then you kind of have to answer, and then it jumps to the other one. Somewhat agree, strongly disagree, and then it's going to it has an algorithm behind it that will create a result for you at the end of it based off of your what you may call it, your authentic answer, honest answer to these questions, like a quiz, right? Like a quiz, like an assessment, like a survey. Those are interactive. You can call those interactive format, content format. All right, let's go back. We're talking about format and structure. All right, anybody want to guess what the fourth one is? Let's try to guess what the fourth format is. Guess what the fourth format is. Right? Not now for you, depending on your type of business, you're not going to need all these different types of format. Okay, you're going to need 2 or 3. Get good at 2 and you'll be fine. Okay, anybody want to guess what the fourth format is? Let's give it a shot. Let's interact. The fourth format, somebody mentioned something that is very close to it earlier on, but I won't give that person's name. Very, very close to it, because you guys are going to scroll through our very little chat here. Kevin got it. Yep. So the visual will fall under, videos, but videos will still also fall under audio, because a video is audio visual, right? But audio formats, you have what they call podcasts today, right? So that's a form of content too. And you might be like, well, my kind of business, I don't need podcasts. Maybe you might need podcasts. Okay. So let me see. I think I might have a good example here that I can show you guys of a person that is the most unexpected. I think it was live a few minutes ago. He's one of the most unexpected to use this type of format to promote his business. But he's live actually, and I'm actually going to show him. Don't laugh at my page, okay? If you're not really familiar with Man of Prestige brand, you might laugh, but you'll be all right. All right, so here we go. All right, so I'm on Instagram right now, right? You see this guy? This guy right here.
Big breath, no.
Can you guys see?
I'm not a person of big ass or big nyash. No.
Okay, what are they talking about? Can I mute this? I can't mute it. All right. He's talking about he doesn't like big ass, big nyash. They're talking about dating. What is it? Where is it? It disappeared. Oh my God, I think it disappeared. What is his name? Chidi Mike. I'll find him. Okay, it's still there. Okay, here you go. All right, so this guy right here is live right now. What is this format?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so let me go to his page because I don't want that to keep talking. Let me go to his page. All right. So what is that format that he's using right now? Anybody want to guess? Yes, it's talking about dating, but that's actually not what he sells. Just look a little bit closer now on your screen. You can see what he actually sells. The most unexpected. It's a great example of how many people are going to be left behind. Okay? No, it's not like in Miami, right? But he's doing something similar, but he actually has products and services behind the scenes. You want to see a little closer? Can you see? Make it bigger. I'll make it a little bit extra bigger. Can you see? He's built 281,000 followers. I don't know how, because I just started following him a few days, but I thought it was a good example. Okay, his name is Cheesy Mike underscore cars. What does he sell? He sells cars. No, but I sell car, my customer. No, that's not how we do business. No, what I sell is different. No, what is the format he's using right now? What is the format? It's interactive. What else is it? What else is it that it is? All right, because remember we talked about 4 different types of formats. Text based, right? We talked about the visual formats, yes. We talk about 3 interactive format, yes. We talk about audio format, yes, right? Right. So which format is he using right now? It's not a trick question. Just answer me how you think it. Let's rub minds together. Which format is he using right now? And in terms of the content, it's complete strange content. But by the time you're like, who's this guy talking about dating? You come here, you look at this. Wait, what does he sell? He sell cars? You know, one of the biggest issues that I've seen over the years that I've made as well. Yes, visual, 234. Yes, 234 is also involved in that. 234, definitely not 1. You know, it's text here, but that's not the content, right? The content is 2, 3, and 4, right? Visual, interactive, and audio. So you can say audio, visual, but also interactive is engaging people, right? Let me show you how extremely smart this is. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Okay, let me play this. Okay, let's reduce this down. All right, so you can see a bunch of people interacting. Of course, they're both interacting, but let me show you something really cool. You notice that I can see this guy too. Okay, so they're actually talking about cars. All right, so let me close this. All right, so let me show you what's going on. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear my audio. Okay, he's talking about dating, at the same time he's advertising his car business. Okay, at the same time he's leveraging the power of the algorithms, AI, precisely, right? Because all these people, anybody that's following that guy who called into his show, they will also see his business. Okay, so at some point people say, some people say, we missed the show. I haven't done live show in a little while because my schedule is kind of like messed up right now. I have a particular day that we do it on Instagram at some point, right? Because when your followers, when they see that you're online, they will join the live. Now my brand is exposed. So if you have something to sell, it's a great way to expose your brand. Now you have to involve other conversations. It can't just be about cars. It can be, but you better be extremely good to engage people, right? To just talk about cars all day long, right? Maybe there's a way to do that. Maybe you talk about luxury cars, or there's a way to that. But ultimately, you want to find something that you can talk about that's kind of natural to you, and that's how you bring people back to the yard. You know, what was it? Was it Khalees that said the milk bring people to the yard? That song, that Khalees, that's Nas' ex-wife from long time ago. What's that song? I forgot the song, right? It's true, right? Remember, content is designed to attract. Okay? Now, attract means you're feeding people with something they find valuable, either in the form of education or entertainment, or better yet, both. What is his name? Patrick Bet-David, he called it valuetainment, right? Valuetainment, edutainment. Thank you, Tia. My milkshake bring all the men to the yard. That's what we're talking about. Attraction. You give them something of value. You don't kill them, right? But they come back to the yard and they see what you're actually selling. Big deal. All right. So all of this is content. These are the different content types. Okay. Now under I'm going to share with you some of the. We're going to go back here for a second. Under text-based format, right? There's a few different examples, right? You have blog posts and articles. You can see that that this is also like, this is a blog, right? This is a blog right here. This is an example, right? So under that we have blog posts, we have books. Okay, you can write a book. You don't have to have a 200 pages book like mine. It could be, I don't know, it could be 20 pages, as long as it's valuable, as long as it's actually serving a need, it's answering somebody's questions, to gain some kind of insights from reading your book. That's a form of text-based content. Blog posts and articles, ebooks, white papers. Again, I practice what I preach, is how I've built my audience thus far. Okay, case studies and reports. Okay, on the first day, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. On the first day of this boot camp, I showed you guys some reports produced by Google on both the Search Console and Google Analytics of the traffic we're getting to our web pages, right? Okay, so showing those kind of reports is a form of content. So you might have some kind of case studies content where you give example that aligns with the results that you sell, that your services sell, the transformation that they sell. So there's different ways, which is why you need strategy. You need a strategy session to come up with what's going to be the best fit for you, because everybody is unique and everybody is different. And what you can do consistently is really what you need to do, because if you do any of this stuff and it's not consistent, you basically just wasted, even worse than money, you wasted time. Okay, so that's text-based. That's another form of text-based format. Social media captions and comments. So Twitter, anytime you type 140 characters on Twitter, that's a form of content. Anytime you put a content on any one of my videos, that's content. That's text-based format. It's just that that's something in digital marketing world we call that user-generated content. UGC, user-generated content. All right. Now let's get to visuals. Visuals, the second type of format, content format, right? You have images and infographics, just like Kevin said earlier on. Infographics, this is a form of infographics. You don't know what an infographics? If you don't know what infographic is, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't know what infographic is, put a 1 in the chat. This is an infographic you're looking at on the screen. Okay? More so this guy right here. The big picture is an infographic, right? Has information, but it's also full of graphics, illustrative graphics to describe what we're talking about, to add more concept, to get the users to understand the concept. All right, these are all infographics right here. Okay, so that's a type of visual format. Okay, your business might find one useful. So it's a combination of, if it's useful for your business and it's something that you find easy to do consistently over a period of time. What is a period of time? Well, period of time. Is this a business you want to do for a lifetime? I hope so. Okay. So you want to be able to engage the content type, because consistency wins above everything else. Is consistency. Okay. Above everything else is consistency. It's not about, you want it to look flashy, but you cannot be consistent with it. You're going to fail. Why? Because you stopped. You stopped feeding the beast, right? So visual format, we also have videos and animation, right? Also visual format, we also have presentations and slides. All of these are extremely valuable ways that you can attract an audience to your product and services. Okay. Also ads, advertising, the actual ad format that you put together. So what are we? We're in day 4, right? Okay, yes. So you haven't seen anything yet. Okay, remember, these are all the hands-on we're doing. I'm showing you different things, right? But I'm actually going to be demonstrating some stuff. Okay, so make sure you stick around for all of this. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. Thank you so much. Hit the like button. And then number 4, audio format. Okay, so audio format is not something I've done very well consistently. I've done it consistently, but not particularly. When I say audio format, I'm talking about podcasts in general. Okay, so if I go here, one of my brands is Man of Prestige, right? Man of Prestige podcast. All right. All right. Where is it? I misspelled it. Even though I misspelled it, what happened? Google still pulled it up. All right. Google still pulled it up. Why? So back in the days, let me tell you a quick story. Okay. Back in the days, we would create misspellings, and we would rank websites for misspellings. So if I know that my audience, I have a cross audience with another brand, a competitive audience or something. Let's say another podcast. For example, Man of Prestige will be in competition with like a Hardly Initiated podcast or Dear Future Wifey podcast, or even a Tony Robbins podcast. That's self-development to a large extent, right? I would deliberately misspell Tony Robbins podcast, and I will rank web pages on my website for it. And that was one of the ways. Thank you. Consistency. That's a big deal. Okay. And that's one of the ways that I attracted traffic. Now I will present them my brand, but it's similar. It's similar. It's like a competition, right? Now we'll get traffic, and some will stick around, and some will like, that's not what I wanted, right? And it's another way just rank for any keyword. But these days, the algorithms are much smarter. The algorithms knows that you probably meant, instead of podcast, let me show you the misspelling. Instead of podcast, the algorithm knows that you probably meant podcast, and say, hey, showing results for podcast, right? And then we have it. But anyway, you can see that the YouTube channel came up. Spotify is ranking at the top. Some of you that are followers of Man of Prestige probably did not know we are in fact on Spotify. We're everywhere, right? All right. So there are ways to set this up. One time, when you publish content, it just publishes everywhere. We have on YouTube, of course, on Pod News, audio podcast. So what I meant by not consistent enough is to actually create publishing is not as consistent as I would like, because the person that's working for me that's handles quite a few things. So sometimes I have to remind her, hey, have you published? And then she's like, well, So, but she does great job. Some of you that know how consistent our content is on Man of Prestige, there is no way in my right mind that I'm creating content at that kind of consistency. It's not possible. Okay. Odyssey, Player FM, these are all these different places. This is brand building. So we're creating content, of course, on Apple, right? Apple, PF. Okay. So that's audio format. What do you mean? Is that so, Chinye? What did you miss? Whatever it is, I said yes. So, all right. So let's keep going here. In terms of, let me see. Okay, so we're talking about audio format. So audio format, we have what? We have podcast, of course, right? And then we have interviews and audio recordings. Just plain old big old audio recording right there on your phone can become a piece of content that you can use to attract audience back to your brand, your products, your services. So if you sell, let's say you sell AirPods like this, right? Let me show you. You sell AirPods such as this guys. You sell these ones for like $10. Where's the camera? All right, this one. They sell them for like $10 or so on Amazon, right? You sell this, right? So let me give you a quick idea right now. So get you thinking, all right? As we're rounding up today's session. You sell pods, right? But how do I create content around pods? Let's go back really quickly. What is it that Dr. Dre sold that made him a billionaire? What is it that Dr. Dre sold that made him a billionaire? Anybody want to put in the chat? Dr. Dre sold something. Yes, so we are there. We're everywhere. Dr. Dre sold something that made him a billionaire. Oh, yeah, exactly. Beats by Dre. Wait. He just woke up one day and started selling headphones? What led to the amount of audience that he was able to use to sell all of those audios? What led to that? What led to that? We're talking about, what is it we're talking about today? We're talking about content format and structure. Well, we're going to talk about structure next week. We're going to get into structure next week. All right. But format, we're talking about formats today. Right. So, of course, if I go on the internet today, all right. Hold on 1 second, okay? Sorry about that. Yes, that's the word, content. Yeah, we knew it as music. We knew it as, yes, is fame. Shout out to Christopher Solomon. Shout out to BJ. We knew it as fame, music, rap. It's content. Okay? It's content. All right. So he was able to leverage that to sell, to build a whole brand, obviously brand, right? All of that. So we're talking about, how do you build a brand? Content. Valuable content. Okay? People start to know you for something after you keep sharing more and more information about it over time. Sharing content around that same topic over time. Okay? Sometimes the strategy is not, you don't have to create the exact type of content. With the example I just gave you with that Chidi Mike guy, right? Your content does not necessarily have to be, it's not necessarily true that it has to be exactly about what you sell. Okay? It's not necessarily true. We've seen so many examples, right? Right? Who was the first person to become a billionaire in the Kardashian family? Who was the first person to become a billionaire? Well, there's one of them became a billionaire. How? Content, reality TV show, content. That's how. That's the underlining, the root of all of it. So when I say, if you're a business owner, you're a content creator, I know what I'm talking about. You might be scrambling your head, I don't know what to create content around. Listen. You will create content. And then you bring the milkshake, will bring all the boys to the yard. Okay? And they say, hey, voila, I sell this. I sell a mouse. Right? So no, you don't have to actually sell MacBooks before you can sell a mouse. You could just be a good content. You have a topic that you're very passionate about, that you can talk for days about. Let's start creating content around that and say, hey, by the way, guys, I do sell this. This is what we do. 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 Okay. Right? I've been doing Man of Prestige for a while, going on 2 years now. At the end of it, I say, hey, guys, I do have 5 books. 2 on real estate, 2 on relationships, 1 on business and marketing. Right? You can download them absolutely for free. Just go to manofprestige.com. Same thing. Mine is a little bit even more congruent, right? But it doesn't have to be. That's my point. If you can get an audience, obviously if it is, let me do a quick math for you. Let's say you're able to get 100 clicks over to your video, 100 views over to your video, right? Just for illustrative purposes only, right? If what you are selling on the back end is not directly congruent with what the content is about, you will have less percentage of people actually buy your product. But there are other ways to make money from your content. It's called ad revenue. You can make content just for people showing ads on your content, right? But if it's 2 people out of 100, that's 2% that actually say, oh, you sell that? Oh, yeah, sure, I'm interested in that. Oh, I know a person that's interested in that, right? And then, people refer people to you. So that 2%, it might sound like 2, but 2% of what? If you can get, instead of 100, if that becomes 100 million views, if you get 2% of that to actually buy your product, If you think that's worth it, remember it's a topic you enjoy talking about. Sorry about my middle finger. I meant this finger. Thank you. Right? If you have something that you really enjoy talking about, so it's not really work, right? If you feel, obviously editing and all that kind of stuff, that's why I outsource that part to other people, right? Cleaning it up, editing it, making it formats, people take care of that for me. But the content, I just show up and I talk, right? So if you have somebody, sorry, Remy, right? So if you have one person out of every 100 follows all the way through your funnel. What are we talking about funnel here? This is a funnel. This is a funnel right here. Yay. We're going to cover this later on, right? We're going to cover this later on. But the top of the funnel is awareness. Awareness. They're aware, right? They don't necessarily buy from you. They don't necessarily, not all of them are going to take action, right? Not all of them are going to take action. So you find a topic that you can talk about if you're selling like consumer goods. Okay, Isaac, we're going to talk later. We're going to talk. All right. You find whatever your consumer good is, right? If it's congruent, fine. If it's not a big deal. Okay, it doesn't have to be congruent. You sell this, you make good. Shout out to Isaac. Isaac make good. I saw some of his products yesterday. Fantastic, beautiful shoes, right? So now the strategy around that, if he can talk about shoes for days, then I don't know, he might be able to do that. There's a business strategy. There's a marketing strategy around that. If he can't, if he's just like, no, I don't want to talk about shoes, then there's ways around it. Does that make sense? There's ways around it. It's audience. Get some awareness. Get paid for talking about the topics you want to get paid talking about. Okay, so you see us drilling more and more into this as time goes on, right? Now, the next step is interest, right? Obviously, decision and then action. We're going to get to that later on in the sales funnel. But this is all a matter of funnels. Okay, so how do you start awareness? What's the answer here? Pop quiz. What's the answer? How do you get awareness? How do you acquire awareness? How do you acquire awareness? Answer me in the chat. How do you acquire awareness? If you're just coming in or you stumble in and you in the middle of my lecture and you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Thank you. Hit the like button. How do you get awareness? Awareness is the top of the funnel. How do you get people coming through that? It's not a trick question. Come on. I want it to make sense while we're here today. You're going to think content. You're going to wake up thinking content. You have something you're trying to sell, you're not doing too good at selling, you're not creating content. Okay? So you don't know what kind of content you can create. Yes, you can call it advertising, but it's actually content. That you're advertising in 2024 is actually a piece of content. All right? So let's do a quick exercise really quickly. Let's do a quick exercise. All right? Hold on 1 second. Share profile. I'm going to use Man of Prestige as example. How's that? All right, good. All right, so here we go. All right, so this is Man of Prestige page on Facebook. Okay, this is the Man of Prestige page. If I go to facebook.com, if I go straight to facebook.com, all right, I press enter. The first thing I see is the feed. Okay, shout out to Brother Ben. I see a feed of information from people I follow, right? People I follow, but I don't think there's enough. Okay, this guy Daddy Freeze is a content creator. It's live right now. He essentially does the same thing. Okay, but he also has ways that he sells ads. He sells He sells spots on his shows and stuff like that. People that want to advertise. So if you're creating content, you might even be able to create an audience to a large extent. At some point, you're able to also sell featured segments to other people for money, for more money, right? Yeah, you have your own product you're selling, but hey, listen, all of them are not going to become your customer. But that attention you're getting from talking about things you love to talk about, it could be Christianity stuff, it could be religious stuff, whatever you authentically believe in, and you can talk about it for days, is the best to go with. Okay, so how do we come up with that? There are assessments that you can do to come up with what's the best type of content for you in particular to create. And not only is your content will be unique, the way you deliver it, even if there's somebody else doing it, the way you deliver that same content will be unique to you, and it's your way of delivering it. But because it's a second nature to you, it's a little bit easier, maybe a tad bit, maybe a lot more easier for you to stay consistent, as opposed to no. I'd rather create stuff about AirPods, right? And then you're like, yeah, but then I run out of topics. No, actually, there's more topics. It's probably you run out of the enthusiasm to talk about it, right? And the way it shows up is very tricky. The way it shows up, the lack of interest shows up. Oh, I need to find more time. Yeah, I kind of fell apart. Why? You know. So on Men of Prestige, my content shows up twice a day on your feed if you're following it, twice a day. How am I able to do that? Because the stuff I talk about is second nature. It's a topic I love to talk about effortlessly. Okay, it's that even when I script it, if I overscript it, it tells on it, because people also can feel that passion from me, right? And they engage it in that way. All right. And yes, I would like you to grow a lot more faster. I'll show you some data from when it's time for analytics. I'm going to show you some data. We're going to use that as example when it's that time, because that's part of the big picture. All right. So here you see, this is all content. You see picture, audio, visual, and this is somebody posting a flyer here. You know, if it's a personal page, you will see like what do you call it? You will see ads, but I don't really use this page for much. Okay, I don't use it for much, so that's why you're not seeing the ads. The ads follow the kind of content you watch, or yeah, the kind of content you watch. That's what it follows. All right. Yep. Let me close some of those tabs so we can follow through. We're rounding up here. All right, so you guys getting some ideas. What is the number one thing you learned today that you didn't think about? Please put a comment in the chat before we continue. What is the number one thing you learned about today that you will start to consider, but you haven't thought about it? You might have been watching digital marketing stuff before, but today it's either it's a fresh reminder, or you haven't thought about it and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I need to figure this out. I need to incorporate this into selling my products. Can you put that in the chat really quickly before we continue? What is the number one thing, insight that you got out of this today? Okay. All right. You said types of content and consistency. Well, one is the topic, but I'm guessing you got the consistency part. Yes. This is actually true for anything in life. If you're not consistent, kind of like the universe questions it, you know? And you might be stuck on that one-time achievement that you had, and because you're not consistent, you know, the world is moving on a consistent basis, so you have to stay on top of the game. So it's about positioning yourself for consistency, because consistency is actually one of the hardest things for human beings to do. So you have to leverage any type of Jedi mind trick you can put yourself in so you can stay consistent, right? So, for example, I tell you, email marketing is a big part of what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not consistent with it. Okay? So, that's a weakness. But there's other areas where I have strength. I focus on that area, and then we use that to move the needle. You put all your efforts in the direction. So, there's so many things going on here when it comes to digital marketing. We talk about formats, we talk about all these different types of ways to advertise on the internet. All of them drills down to content. Okay? Google, the almighty Google, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp will reward you for content. Okay? They will simply, literally reward you for content. Okay? I didn't see much in the chat in terms of what you learned today. I think Chinye said consistency. I like that. I think Christopher said create content. What I was hoping you would say is this, and let me remind you. Okay? Actually, Chinye, good point. Type of content. Maybe this is what you were trying to say, right? In terms of topics that you want to talk about, if you have something that you love to talk about, you love to engage this conversation from time to time, that's all you need. Okay? That's all you need. If you love to talk about it, there's a demographic on the internet that loves to talk about it, that loves to not just talk about it. Majority of them just want to engage the conversation. Majority of people are not going to be content creators. That's just how life works, right? But when you say, hey, listen, this is a skill set that I need to have, right? When you combine that with public speaking skills, copywriting skills, right? That becomes power of influence. Okay? So that means you can literally influence people to engage your content more, so you can sell. At the very minimum, you can sell ad spots. You can sell feature spots on your shows, right? In your content or in your website. You can add AdSense code to your blog and have other people's ads showing. That's if you don't have anything that you sell. You still have something you sell. You're selling attention. You're selling awareness. This is something that companies will kill for. Okay? This is why you're seeing companies start to pay attention to handing hundreds of thousands of dollars over to influencers, because they know how to get attention and say, hey, all this audience that you're talking to, hey, I do have something I want to sell. Can I promote my stuff on your platform? Okay? That's what it comes down to. All right? So today we talk about the different format types, right? But you're probably going to use a combination of them. You're probably going to use less of text-based. You use text for captions, of course. So you still use text for captions, for hashtags and all these different things. But social media has created a whole new type of beast, okay? But if you have a type of content that you love to talk about, that you like to share information about, or you like to write about, right? You will create a whole new economy for yourself and many other people. All right. So we're still on pillar number 1. We're talking about value, right? Value and attraction are like 5 and 6. They go together. If you're not giving value, you cannot talk about attraction. Okay. If you're not giving value and you're talking about attraction, you're probably talking more so about something that's not going to last. It's going to crash and burn. Right? But when you're giving value, you give the value in the form of content. So this is going to be a part of. So even when you send emails, it's also still a form of content. In that case, it might be text-based. You might embed an image into your emails, right? And you can build a community like that. Okay? All right. So, yep. Any questions? Let's round up. Let's make this short and sweet. Any questions? We have 11 days. We have, well, in this version, this edition, we have how many days to go? We have so much more to cover. Okay, we're still going to cover CRMs, CMS. We're going to cover Search Console, analytics. We're going to dive in through that. Analytics, you need to track what you're doing, right? So because once you start creating content and you start getting a certain type of traffic, people coming through, you need to know where is most effective. There's going to be a lot of moving variables to that. So we're going to find what's winning and what's failing. We're going to kill anything that's failing, and we're going to double down on what's winning. And we're going to get into that as well. Okay? All right, so we're gonna dive into many of that. We're gonna talk about all this different source of traffic all over the internet. Pillar number 3, we're gonna dive into that as well. So for now, if you want to start taking action right away, we do have something we call the 3-pillar digital business system. It's for those that don't have any products or services, but you want to get something going. You want to have a site also. It's a fantastic opportunity. Okay, it's also back there. I'll turn that on for you regardless. Okay, but you have a product or service that you're trying to sell, and one of the number one question that I get is, I don't know where to start from. Okay, that's what www.myempirepro.com/coaching is for. If you want to talk to me first before you sign up, hit me up on WhatsApp. Okay, hit me up on WhatsApp. Let me show you what that is, and then we can arrange that. Let's see. Yep, right here. You want to type is, okay, scrolling on the screen right now, www.myempirepro.com/WhatsApp. You hit me up from there. Okay, and also you can go through this route as well. The one that's scrolling, digitalmarketing.com. You can book a complimentary session there for free, but just be prepared that please, if you're looking for free stuff, this you will learn so much from this free stuff. This is more than enough. Okay, please don't book a call with me if you don't have any plans to invest. All right, please don't. All right, but if you have plans, you actually have something good, you want to get something started, that's what booking the time with me for is. A complimentary session, so we can talk first and strategize and make it make sense for us, make sure we're a fit, that we can actually work together. That's what it's for. All right, that's all I have for you today. If you don't have any questions, we're gonna continue to go. You're gonna see this move forward and better as time goes on. But if you have any questions in the meanwhile, feel free to ask me, ask ChatGPT, ask Gemini, ask Google. Bring your own ideas to the table. You might even discover things that I haven't found out yet. Okay, that's fine with me. But let's continue to rub minds together. Let's build businesses together. That's the whole point of my Empire Pro. Let's build your empires together. All right. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you guys for being here. Feel free to share this to people, okay? But I prefer that if you're not part of the community, by the way, okay, yeah, that's what the link is for. myempirepro.com/WhatsApp. That will take you into the community, okay? But if you want to send us, that's what I was trying to show. Actually, where is it? The phone number. I was trying to show the phone number. It's okay. Let me put that here permanently. It's +1 732. I guess I put it in the chat yesterday. +1 -732 what is it again? 305 8577. Yep. There you go. Okay, you send a WhatsApp message to that number. We'll take care of you. Okay. All right. Shout out to you. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.